yeah, let's start with your name, your age, where you're from.
Okay. My name's Bryce Moodie. 23 years old, from Fort Wayne, Indiana, born and raised.
Awesome, from the good Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne.
Represent.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So let's just get right into this. What kind of artist are you?
I am a tattoo artist by profession, but I do a lot of other things such as oil painting, charcoal drawings, graphite drawings, some sculpting, any kind of medium really, as far as any kind of fine arts goes.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm So when and why did you start being an artist? When did you
An artist or a tattoo artist?
just an artist?
Arts
When
in
did-
general. Ever since I can remember, probably. My grandma used to dress me up in like an artist outfit with like an easel and like paint set out. It's like when I was like 3 or 4 years old. So I mean, since I was a kid, I've always had an aptitude for art, I guess. So
Mhm.
forever, I guess.
Right.
Honestly. Yeah.
Right. Do you think that people are born artists, or you think it's something that's developed over time?
Both, I would say maybe. Um, I mean, I guess, yeah, you have those natural born artists in a way as far as like fine arts goes. But I think people can learn over time too, or just pick it up and then become great out of nowhere. I mean, there's probably people who didn't start painting or drawing until middle age and then they become great, you know? So I think you can definitely teach yourself to be an artist. And then obviously I think there's just natural born talent also that just comes natural.
Right. So then, what is being an artist to you?
Anything really. I mean, an artist can be anything. You know, you can be a painter, a woodworker, people who do interior design, people who even design just like clothing, furniture. Like, if you think about it, everything that is built in life is art. It doesn't matter if you think that it is or not, but to someone else it probably is. So I think art is everything, really. Even plants and just everything. Like it was designed a certain way, so someone created that.
hmm
You know, so anything is art. I think personally.
Right on, right on. So, what makes being an artist like so significant to you?
Um, Being an artist and its significance to me, I guess it's my ex- expression. I suppose. Um, I think some people really go into not really go into, but their feelings show in their artwork. And sometimes I don't look at it that way. Sometimes I just think something's awesome or cool. So I guess in a way that is my feelings. So I draw or paint it, or I tattoo. So I tattoo it.
hmm
Um, yeah.
No, that's great. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So from like you said, as long as you can remember, you've been an artist.
Yeah.
Up until now, has being an artist changed your perspective on just things around you, on life, on people, or even on yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I think a big thing is, especially being in the tattoo community myself, it's definitely being open to new things and new people, in different walks of life. I think definitely makes you a lot more open-minded, because, I think a lot, like some people, more conservative people, I would say, they see someone with tattoos, for a long time it was stigmatized as if you were like a gangster or a thug or a low life,
hmm
where that's not the case anymore. There's people who, yeah, those kind of people do have tattoos, but I mean, there's middle-aged moms that have tattoos. There's elderly people who have tattoos. There's tons of people who have tattoos, and it definitely, every walk of life has people have tattoos. So it definitely makes you want to be more open-minded to who is who, and it lets you see their ideas more clearly. And not even when it's just tattoos, but it lets you be more open-minded to people in general.
hmm
Because you like something so much, and you think of someone else, they like something a lot too. You don't want to stigmatize them, read their book by its cover, and judge them because they like something, or that's what they like the most, I guess, in a way. But it lets you be open-minded to them and want to hear their experiences and why they're that person. So yeah, it just makes you more open-minded, I think, and makes you less judgmental to people before you can get to know them.
So, like you talking about, the arts making you open and less judgmental to like people around you. Is there anything else that you think like, okay, like because of arts, like this, because of arts, I am more open to these people. Because of arts, I am less judgmental and less critical of people. What else? What else is there? Like, do you think inside of that arena of what arts can do?
It can bring people together, which I guess it kind of goes hand in hand to being open to people. But it definitely brings people together. As far as being a tight-knit community because you understand people. And I think that goes with anything, whether it's the arts or even if you are into the same like comic book or movie or whatever. But it's a tight-knit community because you can understand people on the same level. And like I said, how art can be anything. You can see people on that same level, even if it's a different medium of art. You can definitely get where they're coming from. So it just lets you be more open-minded and you can understand people better, and it brings you together a lot better.
Yeah. So what does you being an artist do for others? So you're a tattoo artist. Like,
Right.
what does that mean for people when they're coming to see you? Like, they're trusting you with like, hey,
Right.
they bring you their ideas. What's that like for you? What's going through your head when people are giving you their ideas, when people are giving you their thoughts and they're placing like, this is going on me? Like,
Yeah, no, for sure. It can be a big responsibility, especially when I first started off. Sometimes it was a little nerve-wracking because it's a permanent deal. So if you think about it, you can't go back from it. So these people are entrusting you with their skin, which is forever, and some of these people have thought about their ideas for months and months on end, trying to figure out what they want to get down to the precise measurement. You know what I mean? And that trust that they're giving me is a big deal to me because some people's ideas are better than others in my eye, but to them, it can mean the world to them. I've had clients who have gotten, portraits or even like wording from loved ones, and it's like a big deal to them. And it just, when I remember when I got when I get my tattoos, it makes me feel good. So it's like vice versa. When they get their tattoo done, it really makes me love my job even more. Just because when those people get done and they see their finished result, they're just super stoked on it. People have cried in front of me. People have hugged me. They're like, "Oh, can I get a hug?" And they're like, "I love it so much." And I'm just like, "Yeah, for sure." It's an awesome feeling. And sometimes you have to revert back and kind of look on the outside of look in on your experience with that person, because for me it's an everyday thing. So it's sometimes I don't even think about it. It's just work sometimes, some days. But to the person coming in, it's like, oh, sometimes it's a once in a lifetime experience, and you just kind of gotta be more courteous to the people, I suppose, in a way, more caring, I guess. I care about my clients, but like I said, sometimes it's just work. Whereas to the customer, it's a big deal to them. So, yeah.
Right. So you think do you think it's would you say it's easy to be an artist, or it's difficult to be an artist, or what's it?
It's definitely not easy. It's difficult. For me personally, it's very mentally and physically exhausting when I'm doing tattooing. A lot of people don't see it that way just because, oh, well, you're sitting all day and you're drawing. Well, yeah, but your mental focus is so high at that point that it drains your body too. There's been times where I've tattooed 6-7 hours straight, and I go home and I'm just exhausted, don't want to do anything. And people are just surprised, and it's no, you do that for all day long, just doing the minuscule details, and you'll be tired too. So on that aspect, it's definitely difficult. As far as doing pleasing people, that can be tough. I've had clients who just don't like your design, and they want you to continuously redraw it. And it's part of the job, whatever. But that can be difficult too, just because I'm a professional. and people want what they want, and sometimes it doesn't equal out. And some people just don't understand that. I mean, I think that goes with any kind of job, though. I mean, people want what they want, but sometimes you can't get what you want. I mean, that's the way of the world, but I think that's with any job.
Right.
And as far as personal like artwork goes, as far as like being difficult or whatever, when you're really into something, yeah, that's awesome because you want to do nothing but work on that. But when you have artist block and you don't want to work on anything, like it's mentally frustrating because it's just like I want to do something but I can't. So yeah, so those three aspects are like the different difficulties that I face personally. But yeah.
So when you've come to like you're talking about have that mental block and you just don't want to do anything, like have you developed any strategies or like how do you get past that point? Like how do you get through the spot of like I can't think of anything to draw, or I can't think of anything to design or paint, or
yeah,
what do you do at that point?
On the personal level, it's hard because you're doing it for self pleasure. So really, that's just kind of like trying to like whip yourself into shape to try to do something. Look at different artist stuff or videos, whatever. That's like one way I would say. But the personal aspect is really the hardest because like if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, and like me personally, it's just like I don't even know what's gonna help me right now. As far as like doing designs and actually doing tattoos, that's just like I don't even know if it's just like I've learned to do it just to do it because if I have a client coming in and I need to get it done, like I can't push that off. I mean I could, but I need to make money too, and so it's kind of like a catch-22, I guess. It's like if I don't do this design, then the person's not going to be happy, and if the person's not happy, they're not going to get tattooed. If they're not going to get tattooed, then I can't do my artwork, which I like to do, obviously. And if I don't do my artwork, and if I don't work, then I'm not making money, and if I don't make money, you know what happens after that. So,
no more nothing for anyone.
Exactly. So it's kind of tough, but I've kind of learned how to. It's like, I mean, I've procrastinated on artwork and like designs before, up until the last minute. But I mean, just do the best you can, I suppose, especially in that instance where if you're making a design for a tattoo.
Right.
Because sometimes, I mean, there's going to be days where I have people come in and they want something done that I'm not super into, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do the best I can on it.
Right. So what is it? What do you think? What is it that you think marks a good artist?
A good artist. I mean, that's a broad question, but I mean, I think a good artist dedicates themselves to their craft. I think, whether it be one thing or multiple things, doing everything you can to make sure that you are doing your best, whether it be tattooing or furniture design or being a chef or interior design, graphic design, anything, doing your absolute best, I think, is the key of a good artist.
So what's something that the arts have taught you about yourself, or has taught you about like just like people around you, more so about yourself though?
About myself, I don't know. I would say like once I started tattooing, I mean I know a lot of people. Like, there's been new clients for me, but I mean, a lot of people I've tattooed are people that I went to school with, or family members, just an array of people. But I think it's definitely shown me how much like people care about me, I guess, in a way almost, or like appreciate what I do, or just appreciate me as a person. Not to say I feel like I'm underappreciated, but
right.
I think. It just shows how much like people actually care about you, I guess, in a way, because instead of like your typical day job or whatever, and you see the people you work with, and then you go home and only see the people like your family. I mean, I have a lot of people that I see in and out on a daily, so it's like being able to keep fresh faces around me makes me feel more appreciated, I guess, in a way. Just gets your your not ego, but like just makes you feel better about yourself.
Right,
You know,
right.
it makes you feel like you're actually doing something good for people.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you being a tattoo artist, you're talking about seeing a lot of different people. What has what has like the arts taught you about like other people? You know, they're coming to you with their ideas, they're coming to you with their thoughts and their what's going on. What has it taught you about them?
Right. Kind of goes back to what I said about being open-minded to people and you know, just accepting people. You know, you get so wrapped up in your own life. You know, sometimes people don't think about other people's life. And then you think about your life in general, and you're like, oh man, I know all these people. I got so much going on. You know, my day-to-day life is always so busy, and it's just like you start hearing other people's experiences, and you realize, wow, those people are just as busy as me, or busier. And then you think about like grand scale, like all these people doing the same thing you're doing every day, just going about life, doing different crazy stuff. And then you start hearing about their experiences, about how different they are than yours, and it's just like, man, like that's crazy how much all goes on at one point. And if you think about it, like even just like with the people around us now, or like the people that we know, it's like, man, that's a lot going on. But then you think about it on a big scale, like the whole world, it's like what's going on right now, like halfway across the world, you don't even know. So it's just like it teaches you about different people's walks of life, and kind of makes you appreciate like how easy you've had it. You know what I mean? Because I mean, there's been people that I know or that I've tattooed before that have gone through some crazy stuff that I've not dealt with, and it's just like, man, like I hope I don't have to deal with that, or like I hope I'm ready when I have to deal with that. So yeah, it makes you really like look at people different. It just makes you want to.
So do you think that arts has the ability to like transcend like cultures, transcend language, like to break past that stuff?
Oh, 100%. A big thing, so like with tattooing, and a video that I watched recently, actually, a tattooer was talking about how much tattooing is, how fluid it is. Whereas like, you can go anywhere and tattoo anyone and be able, like if you're like a decent tattooer, you can tattoo anywhere almost, really. He was talking about how he could pack all his stuff today, move to Hong Kong, does another language, and tattoo somewhere, and like have such a close-knit group of people that he could connect to on a level of doing the same thing, you know. So yeah, I mean, cultures, I mean, tattooing has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and goes back to ancient Egypt and China, and like Asia, it's like Polynesian tribes, and yeah, so I mean, you see tattoo work, and it's just almost any race, you know, any culture has some form of tattooing, I guess, especially like ancient races. And then bringing it in today's culture, it's the same thing. I mean, you see people with tattoos, it's just like tattooed people see tattooed people, and they like already have like a bond. It's kind of weird, but it's almost like you're your own country, like all the tattooed people. But yeah, I mean, as in arts as in general, I mean, yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to an expression. You don't need to know someone else's language to be able to feel something or understand a painting, you know, or something that was done by someone who doesn't speak the same language as you. It can bring people together too. Same thing, you know. You can enjoy something at the same time.
Well, that's it. It's great. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for sharing your heart on the arts and everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Gonna go to LA now.
Gonna go to LA now. That's